Hey man, just giving you a quick call. I just wanted to let you know that you are so close, dude. You're so much closer than you think. A lot of these big goals that we've had and these big aspirations, they're right around the corner for you, dude. So you just cannot give up. So stoked for you to see this. P.S. We bought a Lambo. So keep going, bro. We'll talk soon. Peace.
Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Bryson. This is the Bryson Everyday Project podcast. This podcast is a little bit different than other ones out there. Here, I only focus on documentation. I don't focus on quality or being professional or being entertaining. If that sounds like something you're interested in, I'd love for you to stick around and give the show a listen. You can also follow me on Instagram at BRQUSE. Thank you so much. Here's the show. All right. Today, I got my hours cut in half from Trey. That sucks, dude. And so again, it's me documenting the feelings and all that shit. So he sent that text, and I'm going to read it to you. He says, "Hey Bryson, coming into this month, I'm going to be putting a hold on some of this work. Nothing you've done wrong, but this month I'm going to be putting this money into ads. If you could get the client check-in tracker in there for me and just plan on 10 hours max next week, thank you." So that just sucks, dude. I don't think there's any foul play here. I don't think it's any kind of, devious acts or any kind of just business, and it is what it is. And when I first read that, my first thought was like, "Okay, fuck it, I'm not working for you at all then. Sorry, dude. Like, if you're not going to, utilize my full potential, I'm going to go find someone who." That was my very first thought, and I didn't type anything. I was going to, but what I said was, "Got it. Is 10 hours a week moving forward going to be the new norm, you think, or just for this next week or next month?" And he hasn't responded yet. Truthfully, I think because this happened, when did this happen? Happened a half hour ago. And I've just been stewing on it. And the more that I think about it, the more I think this is actually fucking awesome. I think this is a blessing in disguise. I don't think it's any kind of blessing in disguise. I think it's just how you choose to look at it. I'm now out $1,280 a month. However, I now have gained 40 hours per month to work on the main project that I want to work on. And I like that more, I think, than I would prefer having the money, even though the money would be fantastic. And I would like to have as much cushion as possible when moving in with Lexi, because when I do move in with Lexi, my whole world changes. So not even anything to do with that I'm living with my best friend. Love you, babe. But that's when the income from my job stops. That's when, rent goes down. That's when I can no longer say, I'm employed by, I'm not going to have, what do they call that shit? Why can I not think of the name? I'm going to have to mark myself as a 1099 employee. And I'm going to have to provide I'll probably have to provide bank statements or whatever for proof of income, proof of employment. So when I make these claims that I make X amount of money per year, but I'm not employed anywhere, they're going to say, well, what the fuck? And I think that I've never dealt with that before, but I think, to my knowledge, and I could be wrong, and I hope I'm wrong, I think it's just a more of a pain in the ass. I think there's more stuff you have to go through. And maybe I'm wrong, and I hope I'm wrong, but then I have to deal with all that. I'm not going to have, any of that to help me out, I guess. And that's kind of stressful to think about. But, I'd like to believe that I won't really need to do much, because I just bought a new car. So the likelihood that I'm going to buy a new car, given given my experience with car buying, I've bought 2 cars in the last decade, right? I probably won't be buying a new car for another 5 years at least. So no need to worry about that. We're going to get a townhome, and I'm going to be able to put my job on there for the application and have proof of income and proof that I make this much and blah, blah, blah. And I'm going to be fine there. So I think it's just at the perfect time for a cutoff for that for me. And I think that this is a good thing, because currently on my calendar, and maybe I need to be more strict with the calendar, but I've got it, first thing in the morning, I work for Trey for 4 hours straight. And, I don't do weekend work for him. So what's funny is it went from 28 hours because I guess there was a misunderstanding to then it went to 20, because he said, "Hey, we're not doing weekends." And I'm like, but I thought it was every day. So it went from 28 to 20. It's 4 hours a day, 5 days a week. It's 20. And then it went down to 10. So it went from 28 to 10. Now, 28 was very short-lived. It was a week. and then went to 20. And it's been that way ever since. And I even got paid today for the full 20 last week, which rightfully so. And then I got that text that's going to be 10 moving forward. So, yeah, the first thing that comes to mind is like, dude, yeah, shitty for sure. I just lost, $1,200, almost $1,300 a month. That sucks. So if we look at the math here, if I just subtract that now, because that's what I'm gonna have to do. What is cool though is I budgeted a little bit higher for Trey, but now it's actually, whatever. So instead of $640 a week, it's gonna be $320 a week. So now my total from Mina, Dawson, and Trey is $47.60 per month, because he pays me $32 an hour, and I've been calculating 30. So that's why, I don't know if you remember yesterday's episode, the numbers are a little inaccurate. But, yeah, so bummer. I am still with the current setup with no job money. I'm currently still making enough to stay afloat, which is fine. When rent goes down, I'm going to say that it's going to be, I don't even know. 60. When rent goes down, let's see here. Wait, what am I doing here? So when rent goes down, sure, other expenses will kind of go up, but that puts me at about $3,600 a month in expenses. And right now I'm currently set to make $4,700. So that's pure profit. Now, if I want to save if I just want to save 20% for paying taxes later on, then that would be about $1,000 as well. So even saving 20% of my income and not using it for anything other than just to make sure that I don't have to owe the goddamn IRS, 10 grand or some shit come tax season in 6 months. Crazy to think about. Well, actually, it'll be sooner than that. Now, if I have to owe money, you best believe I'm taking that window. They give you however many months to do your taxes. If I get money, I'm doing it ASAP. If I owe money, dude, I'm gonna do it on the last goddamn day. Anyway, so even with saving money, I'm still fine. It just sucks, dude. And I think I just am so quick to get so frustrated with this shit because it's somebody else dictating my finances, my future. And I fucking hate that, dude. Trey's a great guy. I have nothing against him. No, Trey's cool. He's he's great. No complaints. But he has the power to pretty much just kind of fuck up my shit. If he were to just let me go, there goes another $1,280, and I wouldn't be able to save money. But I would still be okay. So there's that. Also, I want to point out that this has I'm not, making room at all for PT Dom. So today there was a Zoom call with Britzy, Marco, and Michi. I guess that's her name. And I presented the thing that I've been working on. They loved it. They said it was so clean. They're very excited. And it honestly made me feel good because I was like, hell yeah. It was received well. It's pretty cool. And my first thought was like, oh, just fucking wait because it's not even done. But yeah, that's one thing that I want to scream. One thing I'm so looking forward to is not having people say, hey, when is this going to be done? Is this going to be done this day? When can this be done? Can you get this done by the... Dude, fuck off with that, bro. That gets under my skin so quick. And I think the reason for that is it's due largely to the fact that this stuff takes time. It's not quick. I don't think that people understand the amount of back end shit that goes into making these things, because on the front end, it's like a button. You click the button and then it's done. But on the back end, it's like this links to this populates this relation and this roll up to formulate this number as a number property with a percentage. And that percentage goes over here in a bar. That chart reflects this amount, which gives you the number. That number reflects the number of days that have been whatever. I'm just spewing ass out my mouth or shit out my mouth. Ass out my, whatever. So, and And I think maybe there's frustration that arises from there, but it's also largely due to my inability to just straight up just focus on one thing for the amount of time that I've committed to and do that. Today's been another, shitty day in the sense that, I woke up and got out of bed a little bit later than I wanted and then got started on some work. Totally forgot that I had a Zoom call with Britzy and them scheduled. Thank goodness I have a calendar. I don't know what the fuck I would do without a calendar app. Now that I have shit going on, I just, thank goodness, because before I think I was trying to use it, but I never had shit happening. So I just never used it. But now it's like, what do I have going on today? And then I look and it's great. So, oh shit, I missed oh no, I didn't. It's Friday. Fuck. We're good. Thought I missed a team Zoom call with Mina. Thought it was Monday for a second. It's not Monday. It's fucking Friday. Fit for a King dropped a new album. It's fucking sick. You should go check it out. Because I have it pulled up. Listen to this shit. Oh my Lord. Listen. Wait, right here. Right here. Are you kidding me? Dude, fucking listen to this. Hold on. Listen to this. Just wait. God damn. I hope there's a metalhead listening to this because you could relate, but everyone else is probably muting and skipping the show. Probably not even listening anymore, but goddamn. Huge fan. Anyway, getting back on topic. All of this is not even counting the PT Dom money, and now that I have more shit going for me here, in Notion, it's going to be a lot easier to get hours in because if we look at my hours here, we've got started in April, and I started April 20th. I clocked 47 hours in April. That's because I had work to do. Started April 20th, had 47 hours. 10 days to get that, and I did it. So I averaged, I don't think I have an average here. Oh, I averaged 4.5 hours per day that I did work. And it looks like I worked every day except the 30th. But yeah. Then May, so April had 10 days and I worked 47 hours. In May, I had the full month, only worked 38 hours. So I worked the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 15th, 20th, 21, 22, 23, 7, 8, 9, 31. Then in June, I don't know if you guys are ready for this one, worked 4 hours. So we had June 1st at 2 hours, and then June 2nd at not even an hour, and then June 16th and the 17th at total an hour and a half. For a total of 4 hours, probably like 17 minutes. And because I start the month off negative 500 because that's the agreement, I'm still negative from June. So July rolls around, and from July 15th to the 31st, I worked 28 hours. So 15 days to work 28 hours, and probably could have done more. I just have, I guess, lack of prioritization here. But yeah, and then because I started the month negative 500 again, I carried the 369 over, and then started with negative 869, and I worked 29 hours, which put me at 897 for a payout. So if I owe 869 and I made 897, the payout then would be like 20 something. What would that, 69 and 90, so it'd be 28. And Britzy sent a really nice message. She said, also quick notes on your payout. Based on the 31, this month's payout is as follows. She explained everything, and she said she pretty much cut my debt in half. So rather than only being paid $28, I was paid $434, but that debt goes into next month. So now I'm starting next month with negative $934, which I only need 30 hours to break even. And it's my goal to hit 80 if I can just do 20 hours a week. And I think I should very well be able to, because now I don't have to work those 10 hours for a week for Trey. So even if I just replaced Trey's work with PT Dom's work and then just continued doing what I'm doing with PT Dom anyway, that puts me on track for almost 100 hours actually. So my goal is to just hit 80, because if I do hit 80, then I will get a payout of $1546, which is, So the payout would be $24.80, but if you minus the $934, the payout would be $15.46, and that covers what I lost from Trey, because I have in my budgeting, I have $0 a month from PT Dom. So I'm just, it's kind of, I'm glad that I don't know if this is a good lesson, something that I would tell other people, but I always just budget for worst case scenario. Like, worst case scenario would be to never get a dime again from PT Dom. That sucks. But because I budgeted for that and I was planning for it, I just kind of forgot about it. And now that I was planning for that, now knowing that I will be getting more hours and be getting payouts, it works out great. So it's kind of like Trey. Actually, the more I think about it, it's kind of like Trey he got replaced immediately, and I still work for him. He's great. No hard feelings. But I have to need to make that up somehow, and that's going to be through PT Dom. Not to mention, 80 hours a week, 80 hours a month with PT Dom. That's $24.80. We'll just call it $2,500. After September, I don't know how they're going to do it. It's probably October 1st. October 1st, that's when I'm no longer in debt. See, that's another thing that starts. So any hours that I work for them, that's a payout. So that would be, $2,500 if I hit 80 every month, which is only 20 hours a week. If I were to hit 40 hours a week, that would be a payout of nearly $5,000, which would be super, super ideal. But they're only paying me part-time. I don't know. They didn't seem to have a problem when I hit almost 50 hours in 10 days. So hopefully they don't have a problem if I were to go over. But yeah, I'm just bothered. Like, truthfully speaking, this is a good thing. I'm just bothered that another human being has that control over me and my future. That quick. Hey man, sorry, cutting your hours. It's all good. You're doing great work. I just got to spend the money elsewhere. I fucking hate that. Like, take the money aside. Like, even if he did it for like a little bit, or if he did a lot, whatever, just anybody. Could have been Dawson, could have been Mina, whoever. I just hate that. Like, I'm at the mercy of somebody else's decision making. I fucking hate that. Now, I think to some extent everybody is always, like, you walk across the street, you're at the mercy of someone stopping. If somebody doesn't stop you, that's their decision. They fucked your shit up. But hopefully what I'm saying is not taken that way. If he doesn't want to have me work on stuff, then he has every right to not have me work on stuff and not pay me, because that's the agreement, and that's nothing wrong with that. But just the fact that someone can just dictate my future and can you guys hear me adjusting? God damn. I just don't like that. I'm just very perturbed by that. I'm very annoyed. Not annoyed. I'm very just bothered. Like straight up, I want to be like, hey dude, not working for you anymore. And that's nothing against him, but like, don't fuck with my shit, bro. I'm not in a position I can't afford to just say, oh, peace. The other thing is, and this is probably worth more, is just a good reputation and keeping this bridge not burned. Because yes, I have Mina, and yes, Mina will shout from the rooftops, and I'm very grateful for that. I also have Dawson, it's great. And I'm going to implement everything I've made for him, everything that I've made, period, for him tonight. And speaking of which, is frustrating, dude. And I just dug myself into this hole. It's fine. He says, yo, bro, I want to lock in these expense sheets soon and get them running. Anything we can do to get that going sometime soon. And I said, I can implement what I have now and it'll be, quote, usable, but it's honestly not even close. It's become massive very quickly. So I can give you what I have now and just keep cranking? ? He says, yes, sir. I said, all right, I'll work on that today. So the thing that I've been building is not even close to being done. And so if I implement what I have now, first of all, it's going to be it's going to be a giant pain in the ass, period. But now when I add more to it later, it's going to be an even bigger pain in the ass because I can't just copy paste because it's in the same database. So I'm going to have to create those things manually. And yes, it'll be easier because I already know what I'm doing. I just copy what I've done and just mirror the work and it'll be simpler, but giant pain in the ass. And part of me wants to just not work for anybody except Mina, because Mina's been great. It started with him, and he's the least of my concerns. Everything he's got going on is, I know more about his shit and what he does and all of his stuff more than I do with Trey and Dawson. And again, no hard feelings. It's just like, shit's annoying trying to balance everything and have people wanting this by a certain time and then build, you know, it's like, for fuck's sake, dude, it takes time, you know? And, yeah, I think it's a good thing that I know that I'm close. It's also it's a difficult thing for me to wrap my head around, that I'm so close and I can taste, you know, the success, but I still have to just grind out this last phase before I have this product and I can start marketing it, and I can start selling it and stuff like that. And I don't know, I just, fuck, dude, there's a lot I have to learn, and right now, I'm at the mercy of other people and what they got going on. I can't, you know, if we were to play this out, worst case scenario, you know, Mina, Dawson, Trey, you know, they let me go, or, you know, maybe Brian, I don't know, I just get let go. Maybe I only have one person I'm working for. Unless I can convince them to employ me full time, I'm going to have to go get a job, you know, and it's fine. It's like, that's the worst case scenario, but it's a job doing literally everything but the thing that I need to be working on. And, you know, I got to be grateful, because that was me for the longest time, up until 2 months ago when I decided to quit my job because I got a really great opportunity. That was me. You know, I had to work somewhere and know what that's like. But now that I know what it's like to not have to do that, it's fucking unbelievably great. And I don't want to go back to that. But if I have to, it's not the end of the world. You know, I mean, it is what it is. So I don't want that to happen. But so in order for that not to happen, I just got to keep doing what I'm doing, keep the people that I'm working for happy. And I think maybe what I'll have to do is just, you know, I think what I really should do is just build them what they want, regardless if I already have it built for my project. That way I can just keep them separate. I can just keep my own shit, and not have to worry about giving them my own shit yet. So that way, when it's finally completed, you know, it's not like, okay, I have the full thing completed, let me transfer it in, because, you know, it's already been worked on a day-to-day basis. And I think maybe that's just a better route to go, because, dude, I don't know how to convey the fucking anger that I feel right now. I'm just so irritated and just frustrated for many reasons. For me, it's just fucking so hard for me to get out of bed on time, even with my phone locked. Like, I wasn't even on my phone this morning. Woke up around 7:30 and I just sat in my bed with my eyes like open, closed, whatever, just laid there. I was on my phone. Usually what I do is I get on my phone, I'll start, for some reason, I'll start looking at shit on Amazon. I don't even need to buy anything, but I'm like, oh, how much does this cost? You know, what does that look like? Is that worth it? What are the reviews on? I'm not even kidding. I just do that shit. And, or I will, I'll just look at random shit. What's something I do? I have to look at my phone. What do I do? Yeah, I'll look at my calendar. I'll look through Tesla updates. I'll look through the software updates. I'll watch things on Teslas just to learn more, because there's so much I don't even know about my fucking car that I own. I also learned, so I got something in the mail, and it said my $4,000 rebate for buying an electric vehicle, because I applied it to my car. I now have to report that shit on my taxes. And what I could have done is made it so that I get that $4,000 back for taxes. And if I would have known about that, I would have done it, because that's just, again, it's just budget for the worst. Like, I have to pay a higher car payment now, but I get a $4,000 kickback later. And it just changes I don't know. But yeah, by the way, locking my phone the way that I have been on a schedule has been game changing. And again, it's just one of those things where I'm like, I want to go look something up, or I want to message somebody, and it's like, oh, my phone's locked, I can't. And then, if anything, now it's just proving to me how much I'm on my phone. How much I'm on my phone. I don't know what my screen time was today. I think my screen time is still relatively high, because I use Notion on my phone. You know, I'm playing music. I usually don't turn off my phone, and I think that's a problem as far as maintaining average screen time. Like it says I've been on my phone for 8 hours, 32 minutes today. It's 6:27 p.m. If that were true, that means it's been on since 10 a.m., which means I've only had... Actually, that's perfect, because I wasn't on my phone until really I got out of bed, which was around... It's so embarrassing to say this, dude, but like 9:30. And that would have meant that I've been on my phone from 30 minutes after I got out of bed till right now, which is not the case. That's not true. And I think that it counts my laptop as well. Can I check that on this app? No. Okay, let me go check something. Okay, well, actually so my screen time app says 6 hours, 31 minutes. Bloom says 8 hours, 33 minutes. Where the fuck are you getting your info, brother? What is this talking about? No, it's not counting laptop. It's max 60 minutes. Yeah, it says I've been on Bloom today for 2 hours. No, I haven't been. I've been on Messages for an hour and a half. No. I've been on Wise, which is the payment app, for an hour and 20 minutes. No. Like during this whole podcast, it's just been on. And I don't know if that bothers anybody, but like, why? I don't know. Not that I purposely leave it on, but it's like I don't need to close it. I'm probably going to use it here in a second, so just leave it open. I don't know. But anyway, I don't even know why I was going on that tangent. But I'm just annoyed, dude. Just very annoyed. And I'd be so annoyed if this wasn't recording. No way. Okay, we're good. I don't think it's ever stopped except when I think it did stop, but that was when I was in my car on base. It was a November episode, so it was in the 30s or 40s. Anywhere between episode 20 and 50. I know there's an episode where my shit just cut off and I had to pee. Called it the pissing episode or something like that. What the fuck is this? But, yeah, I'm just annoyed, and I'm just so eager to get this thing out there and just keep working on it and building it. It's just so frustrating when I'm trying to get some momentum going and someone's like, hey, can you put this in here and try this, blah, blah, blah. But I'm being paid to do it. So how shitty could it be? I'm getting paid to build something that I'm then going to sell later. Truthfully, like I said, I think what I need to do is just whatever they need for the time that I work for them, that's what I got to do. And then the time that I'm not working for them, all about my shit. If it just so happens they can benefit from it now, then I'll implement it, and even better. But I think that I really just need to commit to that and just kind of keep things separated. I think that's exactly what I need to do. You know, what the fuck is this? Congrats to Abram. Just hit $439,000 in cash collected in 1 month. That's fucking insane, dude. That's insane. But anyway, I think that's what I need to do. Because truthfully speaking, it's 2 hours a day for Dawson, 2 hours a day for Mina, 2 hours a day for Trey. If what I'm building personally lines up with what they want, great, even better. If not, then it's all good. But I just contradicted myself. I need to just keep it separate. So if they want something made, I'm just going to build that thing in their system. And if I need to, then I'll take what I build in them and put it for, I don't know. I think that's the biggest frustration that I'm faced with right now, is that I'll be building something, but they want it sooner. But it's like, hey, dude, it's not done. It's going to be a pain in the ass later. All parties involved, sucks. And they're like, oh, yeah, no, it's all good. It's like, no, dude, you don't get it, bro. And it's all good. I don't expect them to get it. But it is frustrating that they don't. So moving forward, I just need to commit to the hours that I work for them with their shit, and then do that for my own. Which, if we just keep the same time frame, so it's now 6 hours a day, and then however much I want to do for PT Tom. I don't think that's really scheduled. It's just kind of whatever and however. Maybe I got to schedule that in there, but it is scheduled 4 hours a day. It's not 4 hours a day, but it is there to just keep it or serve as a reminder. But if I just keep the 2 hours for Trina Trina May and Dawson. Trina May and Dawson, bro. If I keep the hours the same for Mina, Trey, and Dawson at 2 hours a day, right, then that's just 6 a.m. to 12, and then done. That's the shift. And then I go to the gym, come back, whatever, and I continue working on my own stuff. And I think that'll be ideal. I think it'll work out great. So anyway, just angering. I don't like that other people can dictate what the fuck I'm doing. And, now it's like I, had certain goals of paying certain things off. But if that's now I'm down $2,500 for the month, hopefully I still break even because of PT Dom. But, assuming that I didn't, now I can't pay off certain things and I'm still going to have to owe certain things. It just sucks, dude. It just sucks. But, I don't really know what else to say. I did record the call with PT Dom. And I'm trying to think. We didn't talk about anything that was, quote, private, or I'm not breaking any kind of contract. We just talked about what needs to happen, the workflows and stuff. So I'm sure it's fine. Anyway, I think that's all I want to share. Is there anything else? I don't think so. Anything else? I don't know. But it's 6:33 p.m. It's an earlier show. It seems like they're all after, 9 p.m. these days. But, I think I'm going to end the show. What I'm going to do is just dive into some shit for Dawson so that he can see that I'm doing stuff. And then I'll dive in. I don't know. Kind of just want today to be over so I can wake up tomorrow with a fresh start and just kill it. But anyway, that's the show. Appreciate you guys listening. Peace.